One of the big issues down here in my game room, which again I'm very thankful for, is moving the heat and keeping it cool, especially when you have a lot of people over. Now our game nights usually go between 10 and 20 people down here, and that's a lot. I've had up to 24 I think, and trust me, it was quite spicy down here. Even if I close the one heating vent there is down here, there's not a lot of space. I know YouTube thinks I live in a mansion, but I really don't. It's a reasonable house. I'm not upset about it. I'm very, very blessed and fortunate. I'll never complain about it, but the reality is there's not a lot of space, and keeping that space cool has been a challenge. These little ceiling light bulb, whatever you want to call them, fans that screw into a light bulb outlet have been great so far down here. In fact, they were single-handedly making the experience down here a lot better by just being able to move that air around and keep things a little bit cooler. That was working fine up until the point where I bought this thing over here. Now what's that? That's that VR headset, the PSVR 2. I never thought I'd get into VR, but once I got it, I haven't been able to stop playing it. What's the problem there? Well, guess what happens when you're dead center in the screen? Every time people come over and play it, even when I'm playing it, and depending on how intense the game is, we run into this thing all the time. And it has safety features. It doesn't hurt. It kicks right off. You wait a few seconds, it kicks right back on. It's not a problem. But this is now in the wrong place. Now, I was going to move this already. I was going to take the box and move it over here somewhere on the other side of the basement. No problem. Pretty easy to do. I know basic wiring. But then I saw those things online lately that have gone pretty much viral, and that was those like flush mount ceiling fans. I first saw it on other social media, and I've seen them everywhere since. And if you know what I'm talking about, this is what they look like over here. This is just one I bought. I don't know what brand it is. Like most of this stuff that goes viral, it looks like just a commodity product that gets kind of like repurposed and rebranded under a billion different names on Amazon. But this flush mount ceiling fan, now it's first off a lot bigger, so it'll move a lot more air. That's great. It also has a heat mode, I think, which goes reverse, whatever. But the reality is this would be a lot better than something like this here, and it wouldn't cost us any space, and that's the main issue here. See, I don't like finishing the basement, and that's why I like having the rafters exposed, because then I can kind of mount it up here somewhere and save even more space. Now, what that looks like when we get there, we'll find out. But the reality is, as big as this is, it's not going to be any lower than the fan I have already. So my goal is to figure out how to get this thing up in the ceiling somehow, wire it up, hardwire it up to the light there, and test it out and see what it does. And this isn't going to be an endorsement. I don't make any money off doing this. I bought it myself. But I figured, you know, with so many of these going around right now, try one out, see if it works, and if it does work, then I can replace the fan over there too. And again, these things aren't bad. I'm going to use my Toshiba remote to turn on right there, because somehow the TV remote turns the fan on, and it does move a lot of air. In fact, people are surprised, but we can do better, and I kind of need to, because the bigger these parties get and the more people are playing VR, the more air we need. Hopefully this is a great solution, and if it is, put another one over there and we'll be in business. But first things first, we have to wire this up, and this is not going to be one of those plug-in things. The reason these got popular is because, well, everyone has like an outlet, everyone has a light bulb socket in their house somewhere. That's easy, but not everyone can do house wiring. And let me, before I go any further on this, put a full disclaimer. I am not a licensed electrician. I've never been an electrician. This is not electrical advice. Whatever you do to your house, you do it at your own risk, of your own damage. You take full responsibility. I take none. I know some basic house wiring, and so I won't get in trouble. I won't make a mess or cause a fire, but if you don't know what you're doing, find an electrician. Pay an electrician. It's not worth burning your house down. So again, this is not a tutorial. I'm just going to do this myself. I'm going to wire it up here. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do in my amateur way, and I'm going to make sure it's safe for me and my house. What I know will work, but if you don't trust that, you don't trust yourself, do not do this yourself. That being said, let's get into it and see what happens. Okay, so this is the thought process here. It's not going to be centered in the room, and that's okay. It's just not going to happen, and I will live with that. Somehow I'll live with it without having ceilings. It'll be no big deal. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a ceiling hanger box for the fan, which I have over there, the bracket. I'm going to attach this to that bracket. I'm going to drill it up there just so I can see what my clearance is, and we'll go from there. The good news is I can pull power off this cam light right here, and someone already drilled a hole here, so I don't have to drill. No mess. That's going to be great. I was all ready to go with that, but we're good. So first things first, let me get this bracket unboxed here. I'll get it fitted up and decide where it's going, and then we'll start the fun of basic house wiring.
Wait, you said you're going to run this hot?
Might run it hot, we'll see. That being said, I can't wait for the comments section of this video. It's going to be something, because I really don't do this kind of stuff that frequently. I'm mixing Milwaukee and DeWalt. I'm sure that's some kind of abomination unto the Lord. Oh man, you catching this on? I don't know if this is going to keep... Anyone know if this is normal? Oh man, I think my DeWalt's finally going the way of the dodo. That's all right.
Smells.
It's burning. That's not a good sign. My last video on how to install the lights involved me getting a hammer to do electricity work. This one is involving my drill catching fire, so we're doing good. I just lost the other screw though. Where'd it go? Oh, it's right there. Anyways, we're doing good. Yeah, I just did some quick bracket modification here to this new construction ceiling fan hanger, and now I'm going to do like a dry fit and make sure I get it as deep up there as possible. That was really the goal, was to make sure I could do that. So this is before I wire anything. I want to do this to kind of gauge where I could comfortably put this. So we're good though. Proof of concept's there, right? Dad. Oh, Bladstead. Okay, let's just get this bracket hung up, and that'll be the first thing. I'm like, well, it's going to burn up. I'm still using it. I guess just get my drywall screws and get ready. Oh, comedy of errors around here. I'm using only the finest drywall screws to hang this up. I don't think it needs 4 of them, but I'm going to do it anyways. All right, check out the power.
Yes.
Ah,
I know, I'm no fun.
You're no fun. It's not fun unless you're electrocuted. Well, we're getting there slowly but surely. I got all my junctioning done in this box over here where I'm pulling power from. And I got this exposed. I think we're kind of just ready to go ahead and get that bracket and start wiring up right to the thing. So, okay, so we're almost in business, actually. We're all wired up. We're just trying to find ways, fun ways, if you have those screws, please, to get this actually in here. And man, the clearance I've given myself is practically non-existent. It's shaped out to be pretty decent. Flip the power on and see if it works or if it's going to burn down. It's the best I can do. So let's check it out. This is where we pray. Oh, well, we got power to it.
Yay.
We got power. I don't smell anything burning yet. All right, so I guess the next step is just get the remote going and see what happens. Okay, there's the light off. Now let's see how this fan works because it's moving a fair amount of air. That's actually doing a pretty good job. Probably should look at the remote instructions. And once you use an app to control it, we don't need none of that. Instead, I'm actually have to leave this like somewhere because this remote is quite complicated for what it is. Okay, and then there's brightness. I mean, jeez. Like, I don't need the light part of it, but that is very, very bright. That's a pure white light. I think you can get at different temperatures. Yeah, there's different, like, modes and things like that. Okay, well, there you have it. This is a huge improvement for the game room already. Now, it doesn't sit as low as the other one did. It's a little higher, and that's because I'm able to use that ceiling joist space up there. And again, that's something I did. What I'm doing here, I don't recommend you do. I just wanted to get one of these, try to install it, see what it was like, because I've been seeing them everywhere. I didn't know if it was going to be worth it or not. Now, having one of these and putting it up, I can tell you I'm going to go look for a little bit better quality one. This was, I think, maybe $50. I'm probably going to spend $20 more and get one of the other ones I've been seeing too. But so far, so good. It moves a fair amount of air. It has a lot of fan speeds, and I'm actually impressed. It's not going to make, like, the biggest difference in the world down here in terms of, like, temperature control. It's still going to be hot down here. A lot of bodies down here when we're having game nights. A lot of people moving around, talking, chatting. Great stuff. It really is. But this will definitely go a long way in helping to reduce some of that heat down here and at least move the air. Definitely an impressive little thing here. I'm surprised it works as well as it does. The other advantage, too, is it's a lot quieter than those light bulb fans, which, again, they're great, but they're noisy and they take up a lot of space, believe it or not. So I think that works good. So if you want to know what these things are like, here's my quick review. I didn't know what to expect when I bought this. I had seen a lot of videos, and like most viral products online, you see it in like 1 video, 2 videos, 3 videos. Does it actually do that? Does it actually work that way? And I can tell you, the light is very bright. It does work. There's a whole bunch of different settings on this thing. The fan definitely moves air. There's a whole bunch of stuff on that too. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It looks a little bit better than those light bulb fans, and I'm 5'10" on a good day, so, you know, tall people always had a duct down here, and I guess now they will have the duct even further because you're supposed to have 7 feet to install this. But in general, I'm happy with how this came out, and it was pretty easy to install if you know basic house wiring. Yeah, that's about it. So if you're looking at one of these things saying, does that work? Yeah, it works pretty well. Is it going to be as amazing as a full ceiling fan? Probably not. But there is no way in heck I can put a full ceiling fan down here. We just don't have the clearance. So for me, for my situation, this is a good solution, and hopefully it holds up for a long time. And if not, hope you enjoy this. Hope it helps you out if you were looking to get one of these things. But yeah, it moves air, puts out some light, and it's good for small spaces like this, and it definitely is good for the clearance we have down here. So thanks for coming along this journey. Hopefully it's another game room improvement that maybe you can use to improve your game room, and we'll see you in the next one.